I think that's the thing, it's walking in your own grace. Those who walk in their own grace are going to survive. And not being greedy. You know, just do what you do. When it makes sense to you, it's going to work.
Very excited to show you this little video where Tullishe is going to show us how she cooks her Chermoula mussels. You can see I'm dressed for success. We've branched out and we're doing mussels, and obviously we do oysters, and we're going to get more chefs in to teach us and to teach you how to properly prepare mussels and how to properly prepare oysters. And we are just extremely excited about the future and about the chefs of Hermanus, because we've got arguably the best chefs per square kilometer in the world.
So we've received our beautiful box of mussels that's come out of here. It's a gorgeous 2 kilo box. As you can see, unclean. What we've done is we've just rinsed it with some water. Like with everything, when a box, anything that's been stuck in a box is going to have a little bit of a smell. So we just want to give it a nice clean, and it'll smell like the ocean, and that's just delicious. So we've now got it in some water, and you're going to get in your kit, you're going to get some onion and garlic. It's chopped like that, and you're going to get a little jar of Chermoula. So in here, this is what we make at the Food Cellar, which is a base of paprika and parsley and lots of coriander. And it's a North African spice, which they use mostly in Morocco to go with seafood. So it is actually fundamentally created for seafood and seafood tagines. As you can see, I'm going to just open it up. It's quite oily, so you don't need to put too much oil into it when you do eventually start, and it's quite chunky. You'll see in this space that it's not a very smooth paste. It's got some lovely bits of, and it's quite dark in color, but it's got fresh coriander and lots of garlic, and it really is just a lovely, lovely smell. So what we do is we just open it up there, which just makes it easier. The last thing we want to do is, when we get going with the mussels, it's such a quick process that we don't want to be messing around unnecessarily with opening up containers and goodies. And so we're going to give you some chopped onion and some chopped garlic, which together like this is fine. Generally people will say you'd have to do your onion first and so not to burn the garlic, but it's such a quick process, and actually the onion steams a little bit more with the liquid, so we're not too worried about it. We're just trying to be efficient and do it all for you. So there's all the onion and the garlic. It's about 2 onions and 2 cloves of garlic, but remembering that there's lots of garlic and Chermoula in there. Okay. Keep this bowl, because this is a good bowl for us to then put water into. So being in lockdown, we don't all have wine, unfortunately. So we're going to have to steam it with some water. So I'm just taking the water up to the level, as you can see, and that's going to be what we steam with. So now we're ready to go. This is what we do, is our mise en place. It's very important to get that ready and done. And now I'm going to quickly show you how to clean these mussels. So what we need to do is we need to remove the beard. So this can be quite a tricky process. Don't be too pedantic about it. It really is. Take a butter knife, you hold it close by, and you just pull. And that is good enough for it, right? So that's what we're going to do, and we do this with all of them. Then you're going to get to a situation where you'll see a mussel that looks like this, which is not open. It's got a whole lot of stuff attached to it. When the mussel is not open and you open the box and you've let it sit in the water or you've washed it, when it's open like this, 9 times out of 10 you can't use it. It has already died. When the mussel is closed and tight, it's alive and it's looking after itself, and it's got all its delicious juices in here. One of the things you can do is, if your mussel lies in the water for too long, generally it thinks it's back in an ambient temperature, and it slightly opens up to kind of do what it does, and that's live and breathe in the water. So what we want to do is we just want to make sure that this puppy is not dead, that it's just taking a breather. And the way we do that is we just tap it. Tap it, and this one's closing. Yeah, so this one's still all right. So just to recap, we've got the cooked mussels, then we've got the Chermoula that comes in your little potjie that we've just taken out, your onions and your garlic, and then the sizing of the container I give you is how much water we have. So generally what you generally do is the classic is the moulmeganier, which is the one that we do with the white wine. So generally it's the white wine based one that we do with cream or without cream. So we're not going to sacrifice a little bit of wine we have left before the end of lockdown, and we can use water. And that's perfectly fine in this scenario because we've got such a powerhouse of flavor with Chermoula that we don't actually need the wine. If we needed acidity at the end, we can put in a squeeze of lemon just to bring out the acidity. So that's what the wine is there for, is A, to steam it, more importantly, and secondly would be to be a carrier of flavor but with a little bit of acidity. So we'll check the acidity towards the end and see if we're going to require that. So the trick with this is to have a nice big deep heavy base pot with a tight fitting lid, whether it's this shape, whether it's round. It has to be a tight fitting lid because we need to create steam, and steam is the thing that is going to then open up these mussels for us, and it's a really quick process. So hold on tight, here we go. We're going to put in a little bit of oil. It doesn't have to, it can be whatever oil you have, anything other than sesame seed oil, because that would be a bit crazy. And then we just make sure heat is the key here with mussels. Not necessarily with your onions and your garlic so much, but when you put that in and you put the lid on, it has to be as hot as it can go, because the longer it takes to steam, the more we're going to lose that evaporation process, and that's what we don't want. So in with the onions and the garlic. So I think, you know, it generally it shouldn't take you more than 8 to 10 minutes to steam it all. So we want to just cook down the onions a little bit, but like I said in the beginning of the video, is that these onions will actually land up almost cooking in the stock that the Chermoula's created with the water and the mussels. The reason we're so pedantic about the mussels is that what creates so much of that beautiful flavor is the juice inside of them. So these are all got their own natural juice sitting inside of it right now, and that's what we wanted to escape. And we don't want to reduce it too quickly in the way that we don't want it to disappear. So there's two ways of eating mussels actually. There's that bowl of delicious where you take your bread and you dunk it, and it's got as much butter as bread, and it's got a saucy, and you eat it with a sauce. Or there is that space where the sauce is thicker and it becomes a bit more like a stew if you want to eat it with rice, which, you know, it would be whichever choice you want. So all we're doing today is we're cooking this the way that we can have a nice soupy saucy business that we can add to this bread. So I'm just going to switch that off now because I want to tell you how we bulk this out. So here we have Chermoula. The natural flavors in it is what we said before, is paprika. Paprika is a great flavor. So what else has paprika in it? Chorizo sausage. Chorizo is delicious in here because now we would add chorizo if we were going to add it, so that we go to the meal, go away from that soupy saucy mussel that we're having to a meal that we can have with rice. So chorizo would go in now. You take the skin off it, you'd get a nice spicy one, you would add it in now. We're not going to go with too much spice. There's enough chili in here for us for it to be happy, but you can at this stage add as much chili as you prefer to that cooking process. Peppers right now, delicious to be putting that in as well, so you can create a Spanishy dish. And then that's what we would do here. So now we've got the onions. If we were going to add chorizo and all our flavorings, fennel, delicious. So now I've got it on its highest it can go. I'm adding in the Chermoula paste. Immediately you can see what's left in the bowl is a gorgeous orange oil. And we just cook it down ever so slightly. Oh, I wish you could smell it. It's just so good. Okay, it's really hot and it's cooking down beautiful. Now we add our mussels. So in we go with all of our mussels. Okay, we're gonna add our water or our wine if we're fortunate to have some, and immediately put the lid on. Okay, so now that's it. So I reckon we should be about 5 minutes on this whole process, and we should have them all open. They have to be open. So we're going to just let it do its thing for a couple of minutes, and then we'll come back, we'll open up the lid, and we'll give it a stir and see where our mussels are at. So now, don't be alarmed, every mussel bowl has to have an obscene amount of mussels in it. So you can see the amount of liquid that comes in with that.